Africa, the birthplace of humanity, with the earliest hominid fossils found on the continent. For millennia, diverse societies flourished, from the ancient Egyptians along the Nile, circa 3100 BCE, known for their pharaohs, pyramids, and hieroglyphs, to the powerful kingdom of Kush in Nubia. West Africa saw the rise of significant empires like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, circa 300 to 1600 CE, rich in gold and salt, with cities like Timbuktu becoming centers of learning and trade. In southern Africa, the Great Zimbabwe Civilization, circa 11th to 15th centuries, showcased advanced stone architecture. The transatlantic slave trade, 16th to 19th centuries, devastated many African societies, forcibly removing millions. In the late 19th century, the scramble for Africa led to its colonization by European powers, who drew arbitrary borders, exploited resources, and imposed foreign rule. This era profoundly reshaped African economies, politics, and social structures. The mid 20th century witnessed a wave of independence movements as African nations fought for and gained self rule, often facing significant challenges in building new states and economies. Many nations grappled with political instability, civil wars, and economic challenges, often exacerbated by colonial legacies and Cold War interventions. However, the continent has also seen remarkable resilience, economic growth, democratic transitions, and a vibrant cultural resurgence. Today, Africa is a continent of immense potential, grappling with issues like climate change, poverty, and governance, while driving global innovation and asserting its place on the world stage. Asia, the largest and most populous continent, is the cradle of numerous ancient civilizations. The Fertile Crescent in West Asia saw the rise of Mesopotamia, 3500 BCE, home to the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, who developed early writing, law, and urban centers. To the east, the Indus Valley Civilization, 2500 to 1900 BCE, in South Asia, boasted sophisticated urban planning. In East Asia, early Chinese dynasties like the Shang and Zhou, 1600 to 256 BCE, laid the foundations for a unified empire, developing philosophies like Confucianism and Taoism. Major religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all originated in Asia, profoundly shaping its cultures and beyond. Throughout the classical and medieval periods, powerful empires dominated the continent. The Persian Empire spanned vast territories in West Asia, while the Maurya and Gupta empires unified much of India, fostering scientific and artistic golden ages. In China, dynasties like the Han, Tang, and Ming expanded influence, built monumental structures like the Great Wall, and innovated in technology and governance. The Silk Road emerged as a vital network, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures across Asia, connecting it to Europe and Africa. The Mongol Empire in the 13th century, led by Genghis Khan, created the largest contiguous land empire in history, temporarily unifying vast swaths of Asia. By the 18th and 19th centuries, many parts of Asia fell under European colonial influence, leading to economic exploitation and political subjugation. The 20th century brought wars of independence, revolutions, like the Chinese Revolution, and major conflicts including World War II. The post-war era saw the rise of new independent nations, often grappling with nation-building and economic development. Today, Asia is a global powerhouse, home to rapidly growing economies like China and India, technological innovation, and diverse political systems playing a central role in world affairs. Europe's history begins with early human migration and the rise of ancient civilizations. Ancient Greece, 800 to 600 BCE, laid the groundwork for Western philosophy, democracy, and art. The Roman Empire, 27 BCE to 476 CE, then dominated, spreading its language, Latin, law, and engineering across much of the continent, profoundly shaping its future. Following Rome's fall, the Middle Ages, 500 to 1500 CE, saw the rise of feudalism, the Catholic Church's immense influence, and the development of early nation-states. The Renaissance, 14th to 17th centuries, marked a rebirth of classical learning and artistic innovation, leading to the Protestant Reformation, which shattered religious unity. The Age of Exploration, 15th to 18th centuries, spearheaded by European powers, led to global empires, immense wealth accumulation, but also exploitation and colonialism. The Scientific Revolution and the Enlightenment, 17th to 18th centuries, championed reason and individual rights, profoundly influencing political thought and leading to revolutions like the French Revolution. The Industrial Revolution, 18th to 19th centuries, transformed societies, ushering in new technologies and urbanization. The 20th century was marked by two devastating world wars, global conflicts that originated in Europe but had worldwide repercussions. The post-war era saw the division of Europe during the Cold War, and crucially, the gradual formation of the European Union, a unique economic and political bloc aimed at fostering peace and cooperation. Today, Europe faces challenges like migration, economic shifts, and maintaining unity while remaining a major global player. North America's history spans thousands of years, beginning with the arrival of indigenous peoples across the Bering Land Bridge. Diverse and complex civilizations flourished long before European contact. In Mesoamerica, the Olmec, Maya, and Aztec empires developed sophisticated writing systems, astronomy, and monumental architecture like pyramids. To the north, cultures like the Anasazi, Pueblo ancestors in the southwest, built intricate cliff dwellings, while the Mississippian culture in the east constructed vast earth mounds. These societies had rich oral traditions, complex social structures, and unique spiritual beliefs. Beginning in the late 15th century, European powers, primarily Spain, France, and Great Britain, arrived, drastically altering the continent's trajectory. This era brought widespread colonization, resource exploitation, and the devastating impact of diseases on indigenous populations. Conflicts arose over land and trade, leading to wars between European powers and with Native American tribes. The transatlantic slave trade also forcibly brought millions of Africans to the continent, primarily to the southern colonies, creating a legacy of racial injustice. The late 18th century saw the American Revolution, leading to the formation of the United States. Canada gradually evolved into an independent dominion, while Mexico and other Central American nations gained independence from Spain. The 19th century was marked by westward expansion, industrialization, and the American Civil War. The 20th century brought two world wars, economic booms and busts, and the rise of the U.S. as a global superpower. Today, North America is a diverse continent grappling with issues of immigration, climate change, and social equality, while remaining a center of innovation and global influence. South America's history is rich with pre-Columbian civilizations that flourished for millennia. The Norte Chico civilization in Peru, 3000 to 1800 BCE, is one of the oldest known in the Americas, boasting impressive monumental architecture. Later, the Chavin, Nazca, Moche, and Tiwanaku cultures developed complex societies, advanced agriculture, and intricate art forms across the Andes region. The most renowned was the Inca Empire, 1400 to 1532 AD, which from its capital Cusco created a vast, sophisticated empire connected by an extensive road network, known for its unique knotted cord record-keeping system, quipu, and impressive stone masonry. The arrival of European explorers and conquistadors, notably Christopher Columbus in 1498 and Francisco Pizarro's conquest of the Inca in the 1530s, dramatically reshaped the continent. Spain and Portugal divided much of South America, establishing vast colonial empires that exploited immense mineral wealth, particularly silver, and introduced European languages, religions, and governance. This era also brought devastating diseases to indigenous populations and the forced labor of African enslaved people to work in mines and plantations, creating a complex social hierarchy. The early 19th century saw a wave of independence movements, led by figures like Simón Bolívar and José de San Martín, leading to the formation of numerous independent republics. Following independence, many South American nations faced periods of political instability, military dictatorships, and economic challenges marked by reliance on raw material exports and external debt. The 20th century saw struggles for democracy, social justice movements, and varying degrees of economic development. Today, South America is a continent of diverse democracies, grappling with issues such as economic inequality, environmental protection, especially the Amazon rainforest, political stability, and regional integration. It continues to play a significant role in global trade, culture, and environmental discussions. Australia began over 65,000 years ago with the arrival of its indigenous Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, making them the oldest continuous living culture on Earth. These diverse groups developed rich and complex societies, sophisticated knowledge of the land, unique spiritual beliefs, dream time, and distinct languages and cultural practices across the continent. They live sustainably with the environment, managing resources through practices like fire stick farming. European contact began in the 17th century with Dutch navigators making early sightings. However, it was Captain James Cook who charted the eastern coast in 1770, claiming it for Britain and naming it New South Wales. In 1788, the first fleet, carrying convicts and their guards, arrived at Botany Bay, later moving to Sydney Cove, marking the start of British colonization. This led to violent dispossession of Aboriginal lands, devastating population decline due to disease and conflict, and the systematic suppression of indigenous cultures. Throughout the 19th century, more colonies were established, often spurred by gold rushes and agricultural expansion. On January 1st, 1901, the 6 colonies federated to form the Commonwealth of Australia, becoming an independent nation within the British Empire. The 20th century saw Australia participate in both world wars, develop a strong multicultural identity through post-war immigration, and build a robust economy. Modern Australia grapples with acknowledging its colonial past, advancing reconciliation with indigenous peoples, managing environmental challenges, and asserting its role as a diverse, prosperous nation in the Asia-Pacific region. Click here to see the most evil leaders throughout history. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next one.